Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is a Let's Play of Persona 4 Arena Part 23. In the previous video, we started, or well, we were already on Akihiko's story. We did the first few minutes a couple videos ago, but we made our real progress last time. Trying to think, where exactly were we? It's only been a day since I recorded the last video, so I don't actually have much of a excuse. Oh yeah, we jumped out the window, right? To go to the meat dimension, maybe. I land near a classroom that seems to be partly below ground level. I look through one of the windows. Through the interior, it's odd. It looks like it's a music room. The window's closed, but it's still just a glass window. If this was a real school, I'd hesitate to do this, but hey, this is a fake world. I rear back and put my fist through the window. Bro, that's a dumb fucking idea.
Whoa! What the? Who are you?
There's someone else already inside the room. I mean, that's like, don't punch a window, people. Alright? Don't listen to Akihiko. That's an easy way to get your fucking wrist slit and then you bleed out. Alright? There's someone else already inside the room. He's a well-built young man in a school uniform.
You're that guy from the video. Did you just come falling from up there? What's going on? Answer me! I remember now. You're the blood-curdling beefsteak emperor.
Yeah. You don't eat kanji, please.
Hell no, come on! Did you even try to remember my name? So that P1 Grand Prix thing has already started.
I recalled the rule that those who encounter each other must fight. The general said that only the winner can proceed. I decided to see if those rules are still in effect and reach towards the exit of the music room. I feel the same wall I felt earlier barring my path. Same goes for the window I came from. It's irritating that I'll have to follow the rules and fight, but since the walls can't be easily destroyed, I've got no choice. I don't know what kind of circumstances this kanji guy's faced with, but if we're gonna fight, we might as well do it right.
Hey, take off your clothes. What the hell? How can you ask that straight out?
I mean, he's got a point. It's a little weird.
What's wrong with what I said? Won't it be hard to maneuver wearing that? Maneuver?
How's he getting all flustered? His face is red. Maybe he's just not feeling well.
What are you all flustered for? I'm talking about your jacket. If you don't wear it right, it'll get in your way during the fight.
Yeah, the fight.
My jacket? You just said that to begin with? There's no real meaning behind this. It's like just the way I wear it.
Yeah, he just, doesn't put his arms in the sleeves and relies on anime energy to keep it attached.
It's plain weird.
Says the half-naked cape man.
Says the guy who's half naked except for a cape.
Seriously, you're ridiculous! It's bad manners to jump out a window like that!
The general makes a disgusted face and seems to be pretty upset about me mucking up his plans.
Sorry to say, I've never been big on manners. Too bad things didn't go your way.
Huh. We'll see if you can keep that attitude up for long. You must fight whoever you're paired with. Now get started!
I understand that, but I can't attack someone who doesn't have the urge to fight. I turn towards Kanji to spur him on, but his expression is completely different than it was before. The redness in his cheeks is gone, and there's a fire in his eyes that almost seems murderous. Looks like there was no need for me to worry after all.
At least you keep saying the weirdest crap. Looks like I'll have to make you leave. Let's get this started, Capey!
What, now you're interested? Alright, come and get me.
You're not really strong anyway. Just a fake. Nothing worthy about it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Shut up! Why not ask yourself that? Here goes.
Yeah, power up, Kanji. Oh wait, oh god, we know we gotta fight. Oh no, that's like the shortest bookmark in the entire game. That was 4 minutes, start to finish. That's crazy. I mean, I guess technically the fights are shorter bookmarks, but.
Finally.
Oh god, have we fought with you yet? I don't really remember. Oh yeah, we did. your thing is that you have no range, and I don't know what to do with you?
Uppercut, nothing. Slow mo. Damn it! Right now. Do it. Nothing. You ain't bad.
Oh god.
You ain't bad. Damn it! Right now.
Oh god, I've been grabbed? Is that allowed? I think I did more damage in like 2 hits than we did the entire time.
Damn it! Do it.
Bro, I got no juice.
Damn it! Damn it! Nothing.
Bro, he's got a knife? Is that allowed? I mean, I guess a mount I get to use a gun. Guess they can use a knife. I mean, I guess also the main character uses a sword. Yeah, alright, I guess the knife isn't so bad. Take a deep breath next to the collapsed kanji to lower my heart rate and wind down from the battle. Then I calmly re-examine my surroundings. During the battle, I noticed that the spectating students had changed into something completely different. They're not humans, they're silhouettes shaped like people. Or something. I don't know why they're showing their true form now, but that's fine. If they're not human, then there's no need to worry about them. I'll just leave them be. And if they happen to turn hostile, I can easily crush lifeless creatures like that. Kanji regains consciousness. He's recovered much more quickly than I was expecting.
It's amazing. So this is what you meant by going at it with nothing to hide.
When did I say that?
You're one passionate guy. Guess you're no ordinary pervert.
Oh, since when am I a pervert?
Kanji flashes a bright smile that's different from the one he displayed before the fight. Anger and hatred have fled his body entirely. Now the fight is over, it seems he's got spirit.
Ow! Man, for a dream, this sure hurts.
Oh, we're on Dream Art Kanji?
Huh? That's weird. How come a dude I've never met before is here in my dream?
A dream? What are you talking about? Aren't we inside the TV world?
Huh?
The TV world. If you can dream with your eyes open, I'm pretty impressed.
What? You're inside the TV? I seriously thought this was all a dream!
It doesn't seem like Kanji's acting. He honestly seems to think that this entire thing was all a dream. I thought that the people in that promo video were related to the general, but maybe everyone here was actually dragged into this by force? If so, I can't abandon the others who were in that video either.
Hey, do you have any idea who the other people in that video were?
They were pretty much all my friends, but...
Pretty much all? Who doesn't count?
Oh, crap.
Kanji clutches his head as something occurs to him. This seems quite
I
serious.
thought this was a dream, so I kinda sorta beat the snot out of a couple of them.
Oh no?
Well, if they lost to someone who was half asleep, they'll just have to suck it up.
You think so? Things are just that black and white to you, huh?
Seriously? I thought it was gonna be some important information. This Kanji guy's being yanked out of his normal life into this weird situation, yet he seems oddly blasé about it.
If this isn't a dream, then Ted and Rise are really hosting it?
General Teddy. The other Teddy said that he was a fake.
A fake? You're kidding me! How'd he make such a perfect copy of the bear suit?
That's the part you're hung up on?
Well, I mean, it is a pretty big issue.
Yeah. They're hardly twisted bastards who enjoy watching friends crush each other.
I mean, Rise might be.
You seem pretty sure of your friends.
Man, the things I went through with those guys. And here I thought you were a pervert who wasn't listening to a word I said. Guess I had you figured wrong.
Looks like this guy's having a tough enough time just changing the way he thinks about me. Maybe he's just an idiot. Yeah, says the half-naked cape man. The way his expression changes to that honest and relieved look when he's talking about his friends. Seems he has friends that he can really trust. We've been under less dangerous circumstances. I wouldn't mind sitting around and chatting with him for a bit. But I have a duty to attend to right now.
By the way, have you heard the name Labris anywhere? She's supposed to be somewhere in here.
Huh? Lab rat? What?
I see. No, if you don't know, don't worry about it.
And with that, I leave Kanji and begin walking towards the door. Kanji calls out and stops
Hey, wait
me.
a second. You haven't told me anything about you. Who are you? What did you come inside the TV for?
There's no point in explaining.
What?
Kanji attempts to stop me, but he changes his mind. His expression tells me that he's not satisfied with this outcome, but he swallows his frustration and takes a seat on the ground. Hey, you can learn how to play the bongos, or the piano or something, while you're sitting here. Since he's fought against a number of people already, he must understand that he can't proceed on because he lost. Kanji looks directly into my eyes and speaks up.
Well, I was the loser here, so I can't complain. This isn't a dream, and my friends are in trouble.
That's all you need to say. Answer with a smile.
I won't let anything happen to him.
The way you fought says it all. You can't throw punches like that without a shitload of training. You can feel your determination behind every one.
Yeah, the same's true for you. Good work.
Phrases exchanged after trying to beat each other senseless. They have a moment that only those who have just brawled against each other can share. Or, you know, you could be two normal, well-adjusted people who can do that without having to punch each other first. Kanji skills are exceptional for a high school student. When I was in the boxing club, there were only a handful of guys who could stand to trade blows with me like he just did. Considering that he's this good with self-taught fighting skills, there's no question that he'd become an unparalleled fighter if he had proper training.
You should be careful. My friends are hella strong, you know? If you're not careful, you'll be eating pavement.
That's supposed to be a genuine warning for me, or was that a boast about how great his friends are? Both, maybe? Either way, I can understand the feeling behind his words, so I smile back at him.
I don't know about that. My fists can't be stopped that easily.
There's nothing more I need to say to Kanji. I turn and begin running down the hallway. Sometime after parting ways with
This is
Kanji,
pointless.
I'm still wandering aimlessly through the school building. I have no idea if the path I'm taking right now is correct or not, because the invisible walls keep getting in the way. Find another window and reach towards it.
Guess they fixed that little loophole.
Didn't take them very long to put invisible walls over the windows. As I pull my hand back, the PA system blares.
No more breaking the rules. Seriously, why can't some people follow simple directions?
You act like I ever intended on following your rules.
The fact that they've gone to the trouble to correct their oversights means that limiting our movement must be very important to them. They don't want to let us escape. That probably means that there's something waiting up ahead that they've placed there for me. Follow the path dictated by the invisible walls until I reach a classroom. Is this where they wanted me to go?
Akihiko, you're all right. Then again, seeing you isn't necessarily cause for celebration. If we're both here in one place, that means...
Yeah, looks like it.
Who I found inside the classroom was none other than Mitsuru. Normally running into her would be a great relief since it would give me a capable ally, but since the stupid P1 rules are in effect, that isn't the case
So,
here.
You're my next opponent.
This is exactly what the enemy wanted.
When Mitsuru makes a bitter declaration, the monitor inside the classroom turns on. I already knew who I'd be seeing. It's the general.
Ta-da! Well, this is about to get real interesting. An unwanted battle between friends. I hope you two enjoy it to the fullest.
Is that supposed to upset us? Can you believe this guy, Mitsuru?
Certainly is an unwanted battle between friends. I have no intention of fighting against Mitsuru, but we both understand what needs to be done in order to accomplish the mission. No way we would allow a little something like this to shake our resolve. But oddly, when I look back towards Mitsuru, I see her looking at me with pity.
I'm sorry, Akihiko. I believe I may have driven you into a corner.
Huh? What do you mean?
I should have realized much sooner. It's not strength you truly desire. What you really want is to forget your fear of losing others. That's why you throw yourself so fervently into your training. It's a twisted form of escape. At the very least, you can allow me to put an end to such things.
Yeah, my fears of losing others, huh? As Mitsuru well knows, I've lost countless things up until now. That anxiety that I've buried somewhere in my heart may strike at me at any moment. Mitsuru Ano wouldn't bring up something like that at a time like this. To be honest, obvious to any friend of Mitsuru. Something going on here.
Teddy and Kanji also started getting personal before the fight.
Teddy.
Is this some kind of trick?
I've got no idea what you're talking about. Sounds to me like she means it.
I don't know what you're up to here, but you're gonna have to try harder. It's fine though. I'll just take this chance to enjoy some serious sparring.
Those who encounter one another must fight, and only the victor may proceed. Since this rule still stands, we've got to fight. They've removed any choice we had. Turn to face Mitsuru once
There were a
again.
bunch of people I wanted to fight once I got back to Japan, to test my skills. And you were at the top of the list, Mitsuru. Didn't think I'd get a chance so soon, though.
This sounds like the speech someone gets before they're stabbed to death. Mitsuru takes her stance without saying a word. Tension of battle sends a tingle through all the muscles in my body.
Here goes, Akihiko.
Come and get me, Mitsuru!
I don't really want to fight, man. I want to embarrass myself. Akihiko, if you could just get longer arms, that'd be helpful.
Finally.
Oh god. My knees, they belong to her. Oh my god, what the hell? Oh god. Oh, please come back.
Kneel before me.
Did you just say kneel before me? What the hell? Oh, he's got the damn earth.
I'm coming for you.
Oh my god. Please stop.
I'm coming for you. What? No! How unfortunate. Better luck next time.
Do you have a cell phone hanging off of his shoulder? A PDA or something? The battle is over. I glance down at Mitsuru. Keeps her firm expression and opens her mouth.
I yield. Your skills have improved tremendously, Akihiko.
Yours too. I was really worried there that you might execute me.
Mitsuru gives me a wry smile. That's the Mitsuru Ano. Her odd behavior prior to the fight was all the general's work. I wonder.
Mitsuru, what did I say to you before the fight?
Huh? Why do you ask? As I recall, you said some unkind things about my late father.
I knew it. Of course I have no memories of saying anything like that, because I didn't. The general probably got some trick that warps the opponent's reality so that good friends will hate each other. Maybe it was all an illusion? I don't understand how it all works, but there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Mitsuru and I turned towards the monitor and smugly smiled at the general. His little gimmick was completely useless. General Teddy can barely contain his hatred as he responds.
How? How can you fight without holding back like that? People hesitate more when they face their friends. They break down. They suffer. So how come you aren't suffering? Why? I don't understand!
I'm not surprised. Anyone who needs to trick people to get his way wouldn't understand. Our bonds aren't that flimsy.
The General glowers at us. The communication cuts off. Suffer, huh? General was going on about making us suffer earlier. Is that why he has us all fighting here? To make us suffer? Then why would he steal Lapras?
Akihiko, let's compare notes. I want to confirm our situation.
Oh, we were supposed to be keeping notes? Oh god, is there going to be a test?
Right. Although I don't have much for you.
No, you can't look at my notes. My handwriting's really bad. I had to use that excuse a lot back in college, I remember. Partially because it's true, my handwriting is like on the level of like a kindergartner. So I could never give anyone my notes because they wouldn't understand them. And they're always written in shorthand to the point that like it's just unintelligible gibberish basically. Even to me sometimes, and I'm the one who writes them. And then also I just don't, like some classes I would never take notes, and so I would like lie to people like, oh, they're really bad handwriting, you wouldn't get them, because I didn't want to admit that I didn't take notes. I gave her a summary of everything I figured up to this point. Since Mitsuru's persona has a search ability, I'm sure she's been able to gather much more information than I have. That, or sometimes I would use the I don't take notes in defense of my horrible handwriting. I don't know, I'd use like both for different reasons. Seems to already know everything that I've discovered, so Mitsuru then fills me in on what she's learned. Aigis is safe, though neither of us have encountered her. All the high school students in the commercial seem to be persona users. And the General seems to be gathering persona users into this world. Fortunately, neither of us knows what his intentions are. But more importantly, where's Labra? I mean, it is kind of odd that the spell dispels as soon as they finish fighting. There doesn't seem to be any reason why they couldn't have kept that going indefinitely.
Did you find Lapras?
Aigis seems to have made contact with her. She seems to be calling herself the student council president of the school. In fact, she's going so far as to play the part.
Play the part?
She seems to be unaware that she entered a TV. It's possible that someone forced her in here, but that doesn't explain why she's acting out a role in school life.
I have no idea what that could be about right now. This place is a school, but it's still just a copy of a school in another world. What kind of school life could possibly be here?
And one more thing. I heard a strange voice. I'm not certain, but it's most likely Lapras. Either her inner thoughts or her memories. It was a voice of deep sorrow, suffering, sadness. It was so vivid I wanted to cover my ears.
Tsura casts down her eyes as if reliving the pain. A great portion of Ergo research data was lost because of the actions of a former researcher who was the mastermind behind the events 3 years ago. All this must be mortifying for Mitsuru. Maybe it's the reason why her family was taken from her.
If that was truly Lapras, then she's practically human. She may not be that far behind Aigis in terms of mimesis.
Sure, Aigis' sister unit would have a mind. But does that mean the older version is more advanced?
Doesn't seem likely, but I can't say for certain. Still, I'm only speculating, but I feel like her deeply negative emotions are connected to this tournament.
Connected how?
Do you really think Lapras was stolen? The General seemed to want to make us suffer rather than eliminate us. Would a thief wish for that? Or draw in unrelated high school students?
I see. That General Teddy's actions do seem in line with what Lapras wants. He actually may in fact be Lapras.
It's possible that Lapras regained consciousness much earlier and escaped when she was being transported.
Can't deny that possibility right now. There is something else I do know.
Mitsuru, you're doing your brow furrowing thing again.
What? That doesn't matter right now.
You're overthinking things. All this conjecture and speculation will drive you nuts. Let's pick this up again once we defeat the enemy.
We? Mitsuru's always been like this. She imagines worst case scenarios that haven't even happened yet, and burdens herself coming up with contingency plans based on them. Even though she doesn't necessarily stop moving forward, it certainly does weigh her down. Sometimes we need that hard-headedness, but there's a time and a place for it.
Ever think that maybe it's you who's underthinking things?
That's impossible.
Anyway, there's no time to lose right now. You know where the enemy is, right?
Yes, I've traced its location. It should be nearby. I will leave the rest to you, Akihiko. Don't disappoint me, all right?
You gonna give me directions? Just is nearby? What does that mean? I mean, I know there's only one path we can take, but still. As Mitsuru says those words, her expression softens a bit. It seems that I've been able to reach her.
Ha! Of course not.
Mitsuru has grown as well. He's changed since that battle 3 years ago. Almost said 3 days ago, man. Lots happened in the week then. Now I think about it, a lot of time has passed since then. Yeah, 3 whole years. None of us have remained stuck in the past. We've all changed. Part ways with Mitsuru and hurry on ahead. According to Mitsuru's search, the enemy seems to be nearby. The enemy is waiting for their encounter with us as well. Well, that's one wish I won't mind granting at all. Just as I reach the top of the stairs, a loud noise punctuates the atmosphere. Going on a rampage with a persona? No, that's not it. The sort of sound that a massive object creates upon impact. I hear it again, coming from the room ahead. There are no invisible walls that prevent me from making my way towards the sound. Finally reach my destination.
The announcement room. Here we go.
Monitors and PA system must have been controlled from this room. Grab the door handle, but it won't open. This is different from those invisible walls, however. Just an ordinary door. Sorry there's a broadcast going on, but I'm gonna have to punch my way in. Smash through the door and into the room.
Whoa! It's that red cape guy I saw earlier!
And I don't think we've seen Chie be in the announcement room yet. Everyone inside immediately wheels around to face me. There are 2 female students before me. One of them I recognized in the video, but the other is an unfamiliar face. My first time seeing her, but I immediately know who she is. She looks just like a regular person, aside from all her mechanical parts. It's Labras. General Teddy.
So it wasn't Labras after all.
Immediately, General Teddy, who's glaring at me, begins to change. Okay, this is the Labras scene. We saw that last video, or video before last. And we saw it, you know, like a couple weeks ago. Like part 4 or something.
True self.
Another Labras.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that Akihiko. I couldn't remember if Akihiko was the one who breaks through the wall in Chie's or not. Because both he and Aigis have busted, and Kanji, I think, have all busted through the wall in various storylines. This is completely unexpected. Can't even come up with a reason for why something like this would occur. Maybe this is another one of his illusions. If that were true, what I'm seeing would be a more direct assault to my inner thoughts. I start inventing and discarding possible reasons for what's happening. Eventually, I just cast aside all my theories, take a deep breath, and calm myself. What is my objective? Summon to retrieve Labras and to prevent any danger from spreading. Doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, or 21 of her. Yeah, as long as it's only 21, that's the upper max. My initial objectives are unaffected. I'll give her everything I have to complete my mission.
Fine. I'll just calm them both down.
Sensing the hostility directed at me, I smile, eager for a fight. To be continued. Oh boy. We just have the one last to be continued to do? Or maybe Labras also in to be continued? I don't know, but... Okay, we're only at 30 minutes, so we'll go ahead and start Aigis.
Are you awake?
I'm sorry. I had turned off my consciousness to test the new equipment installed on me.
Well, I wish I could do that sometimes.
Yes, that's why we use the emergency channel. We have been asked to go into action.
Has something happened? Who sent the request?
We'll brief you on the details in transit. Also, regulations say that the member with the lowest serial number is in command. Currently, that's you.
I'm in command? Are you sure about this? After all, I'm...
You're well suited for it, in my opinion.
Understood.
May 1st, 2012, 0930. Men equipped with assault suits and tactical vests line the concrete ground. Their urban camouflage and unmoving poses give them the appearance of an orderly line of rocks. Does it? 30 minutes have passed since the special assault team took up their positions on the landing strip surrounding the stopped passenger plane. Their captain glares at the plane before he slowly turns around and looks at each of his men. Every last one wears ski masks and thick tactical visors to mask their identities, but he knows them nonetheless.
Tell me about the situation and make it quick. We don't have much time.
One of the team members steps forward. The touchscreen tablet in his right hand has a summary of the case on it. May 1st, 2012, around 0900 hours, a wide-body passenger aircraft headed for Kagoshima sent out a 7500 squawk code during passenger boarding. Yeah, squawk code. Squawk! Ah, I'm a plane, I'm being hijacked. Squawk! Following the signal, the captain reported to the control tower that the aircraft had been hijacked. Since the uprising occurred during the passenger boarding, only half of the passengers, 168 exactly, had boarded. 10 crew members brings a total of 178 hostages thought to be on board. Some passengers seated near the hatch had succeeded in escaping. Following points were gained from questioning them. Take care not to be seen by the hijackers. There are 3 hijackers. All of them are covering their faces with ski masks. All of them are armed with what seem to be pistols. From their voices and builds, they appear to be males. They all spoke fluent Japanese. Currently, the aircraft in question has been moved to the front of the landing strip at the hijackers' insistence and is stopped there. The authorities have attempted to negotiate with the hijackers by radio, but they have made no demands. The team member finishes his report. The captain nods silently and addresses his team.
There hasn't been a plane hijacked in this country in over 10 years. None of us, not even me, have dealt with this before. Still, the procedure remains the same. Trust yourself, remember your training, and keep a cool head.
Yeah, punch a wall hole through the dang plane. That'll catch him off guard. Captain turns towards the plane again. Taking that as a cue, the team scatters to their specified posts to take up positions. The only thing to do now is to see what happens. Eventually, 10 o'clock comes around. Half an hour has passed with no new developments. Repeated attempts to contact the hijackers have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Okay, so I like, because the way the hijacking was presented in Naoto's story, I wasn't even sure if it was like a real hijacking, or if it was just that because it was so fast, right? I didn't know if it was supposed to be that, like, there was just a threat of a hijacking made, and then, like, it didn't actually end up happening. Like, that was my initial interpretation, but now they've kind of made it clear that it actually was a more prolonged thing. Because I was a little surprised when they actually were like, oh yeah, we got the hijackers. So I thought there weren't any actual real hijackers. It was just a diversion to let them steal the cargo. Tensions are beginning to rise. Worst case scenario is that they have no need to make demands, that their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. It is also odd that they're using just like a normal passenger plane. You would think they'd use like their own, like a, you know, private cargo jet, or at the very least charter a normal cargo jet for personal use. I assume the big company can do that. In this case, the team would be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Come on, talk to us.
The captain mutters to himself, deep in thought. From the perspective of rescuing the hostages, every second that passes without learning the hijacker's objective is a second wasted. But at the same time, if you're trying to do it incognito, I guess putting the cargo on a normal passenger plane might be less conspicuous. The captain and his team can wait in hiding, but the same is not true from the passengers on board. For untrained civilians, extreme stress can easily lead to physical and mental problems. It's true not only for the hostages, but for the hijackers as well. If people lose their nerve, they tend to act rashly. Hostages will begin to lose hope, and the hijackers will begin taking it out on the hostages. An hour into the incident, anything could be happening inside the plane. The captain could do nothing but glare as the time ticked by. After 15 more minutes had passed, a slight change in the situation was reported. All emails and calls going through the stations near the airport are being checked, but at the moment no messages are thought to have been sent from inside the plane. It appears that the hijackers had confiscated all cellular phones as per standard hijacking plans, but...
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passengers' cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are two possibilities. The hijackers are using a passenger's phone to contact associates outside, or a passenger is contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely. More and more devices have communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to remove them entirely from play. And the more hostages that are involved, the more courageous they become, and the more likely they are to take risks. Unfortunately, more hostages involved means it's all the more dangerous to provoke the hijackers. Each individual hostage is worth less to them. The details of the transmission make it apparent that the situation is worse than the team had assumed. The cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s in first class. He signed up for a certain service after being diagnosed with a heart illness. It's a remote EKG monitoring service that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. A scheduled message was automatically sent from the patient's cell phone. The service provider promptly contacted the police, informing them that the man was in bad shape.
The man's life is at stake if we don't wrap this up within the hour. Looks like we can't stall for time.
As panic spreads, a proposal for negotiations based on this fact and a proposal to storm the plane are both considered. But because only half the passengers had boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making devising a tactical plan difficult. Well, if nothing is done, a passenger will surely succumb within the hour. A blunder like that must be avoided at all costs. That was the thinking that guided the police officials to make their decision. That same day at 10:30.
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking! What are you thinking, withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
One understood the sudden withdrawal order. Why withdraw the team during a hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not the brain, but limbs whose power is best put to be used by precisely following orders. Just then another group approaches without a sound. Its members are dressed differently in suits and trench coats, but all of them are wearing black and sunglasses. Do you think they brought the boombox with them to play their theme? At a glance, it is clear they are all tall, well-built, and used to rough situations. With nearly 20 of them gathered in one place, they are imposing despite their silence. They don't seem to be airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. But the captain senses they're in the same line of work and approaches.
Who are you?
His voice is laced with suspicion, but the man at the head of the group speaks dispassionately, as if he'd heard nothing.
For the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
The captain's tone unconsciously hardens. A group of men in black parts, and one of their number in the rear steps forth. The captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brow. He can already sense the unrest spreading amongst his team, who watches in silence. One stepping forward looks like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. She's dressed in black and wears sunglasses like those around her, but her slender build is out of place. Her blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. The girl walks a few more steps forward and removes her sunglasses. The captain had intended to appraise the look in her eyes, but yes, in the face of her crystalline blue. He quickly regains himself and frowns.
So you're the one in charge?
Yes.
Are you shitting me?
There is no time to waste quarreling.
The girl looks at him fearlessly, despite the armed team surrounding her. The absurdity of it all is what helps the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She's clearly no ordinary girl.
Are you not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
Well, yeah. That's how it works, kinda.
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
Her calm, sweet voice only irritates him. The captain closes the distance to the girl, and while he stops short of grabbing her suit, he glares into those blue eyes from only inches away.
I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger. Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl's completely unruffled as she speaks. I mean, on one hand, I do kind of have to respect someone being like, maybe we shouldn't let children take control of the situation. At least a little pushback on your standard anime nonsense. Like she's a machine or something, the captain thinks, more dumbfounded than angry.
Have faith in us. We too wish to save them.
For the first time, something like determination flickers within those crystalline eyes. After looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He steps back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he shows the girl his watch.
But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
Understood.
After the girl nods, she gives instructions to prepare a stair car to the group she is leading. The captain's fist tightens nervously. Since there are a few uses for a stair car, quietly moving it in place may make the hijackers think the strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. There's no hesitation in the girl's actions.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
Well, that sounds easier. I mean, it's probably easier said than done. Yeah, just be stealthy, forehead. Eventually, a roofless stair car advances slowly towards the passenger plane.
The closest we can get without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
That will be more than enough.
More than enough? What's the point of half-assing it like that? Captain's annoyance begins to turn to curiosity. Or she's gonna jump and punch a damn hole in the plane. She's replacing the SAT. She must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but...
Now, let's begin.
The stair car stops. The girl gets out of the driver's seat. She walks slightly behind the vehicle, turns toward the passenger plane, and squats down.
What's she doing?
Captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see what she will do. At first, he assumes she is going to use the stair car's movement as a decoy and send her team in from a different angle, different direction. Like humans, most vehicles have significant blind spots above and underneath. And that doesn't seem to be her plan. You plan to make her move while using the stair car as cover? You possibly gonna snipe them? Captain discards the possibility. It would be foolish to set up a sniper perch at a lower angle of elevation, where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly, one moment, and in the next, she is no longer in sight. Yeah, probably shouldn't, do this in public. By the time the captain realizes she's running, she has already reached the top of the stair car. Her slender body launches like a cannonball from the top of the stairs.
What? She jumped?
Even the SAT members voice their surprise. The girl's leap arcs a distance of over 10 meters. It's clearly beyond the abilities of a human being. Coming in the middle of a hijacking, the scene seems even more surreal. The girl lands on the top of the aircraft and stands as if nothing unusual has happened. She looks up at the aircraft beneath her and slowly turns her head to scan it from back to front. It reminds the captain of the movements of a security camera. He knows it should be impossible, but he wonders if she can see through the plane's ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. When she reaches the boarding hatch at the front, she moves her right hand to her back. The captain notices that a special knife coated gray from blade to hilt is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down the side of the aircraft. Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jamb of the hatch and dangles from it.
This is crazy.
She then uses her left hand to pull the handle and locks the hatch with ease. Once the thick airtight door juts out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. The captain's shocked by her dauntless methods. He begins to wonder if she intends to defuse the situation on her own? The captain lowers the binoculars and faces the reality before him with his own eyes. Who in the world is she? The doubts he had dismissed rise with him again. A warning light goes on in the cramped cockpit. Two people there notice it at once. One of them is the captain, sitting in the pilot seat. The other is the man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. The light is labeled hatch open. Even an amateur can understand what it means. The man suddenly tenses and stands ready at the passenger side door. He prepares himself for someone to charge through it. But he quickly regains composure and turns the gun back on the captain. The man casts irritated glances back and forth between the captain and the door for a while, but eventually approaches the door, his gun pointed at the captain. Cautiously cracks open the door and looks towards the passenger seating. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section. The passengers were gathered in economy class at the time of the hijacking. First class is empty. The man squints. To ward off observation or worse, snipers, the window covers were down. Coming into the darkened plane from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. But from the corner of his eye, he sees a gleam of light shining, and that's unlike the regular ones. And within the light is a silhouette. Before he can react, the silhouetted figure closes the distance. A hand grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. Two quick, heavy blows follow. The man collapses without a sound. The captain turns around in surprise to see the intruder, a blonde girl with an index finger to her lips, signaling silence. He first lays the man on the ground and then removes the pistol from his hand. On closer inspection, it's only a model gun, supplemented with metal parts. The seam between the parts is in different places compared to a real gun. Taken apart, the disassembled pieces would look nothing like a real pistol. The girl then takes handcuffs from a small pouch on her waist and fastens the man's arms to a seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he will be unable to stand. Though the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something, the girl's eyes meet his and insist on silence as she leaves. The curtain dividing first class and economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind it and peeks through. There's a man in each of the aisles on the left and right. Neither seems to have noticed her. Passengers and cabin crew are crammed into the seats of the back. Everyone's placement matches the readings of what her heart sensors picked up from above the plane. Both remaining hijackers are closer to first class. I just love this music for this whole section too. Oh man. The man closest to her is only a few steps away. She judges that he can be easily disabled if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but they are the same type as the downed hijacker. From what she can see, these two are mere model guns. The girl swiftly pushes aside the curtain and grabs the closer man's right wrist. The hijacker is caught off guard by the sudden appearance of such a slender girl. Well, I mean, I feel like they'd be caught off guard regardless of whether she's slender or not. I feel like they're not thinking, wow, she's really slender. I wonder what her diet's like. They're more like, oh my god, there's somebody in the damn airplane. Stops moving for a moment. He surrenders any chance of victory he may have had. Well, I mean, he never had a chance. He doesn't have a real gun, dude. What's he gonna do? Even if it was a real gun, he still couldn't do anything to her. With a pain cry, he drops the pistol to the ground. The girl uses her grip on his right hand to put him on the ground, then smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks his arms to the passenger seat. The man thrashes about, but despite his struggle, he is no better than a worm writhing on the ground. The last hijacker finally recovers from his shock and aims his gun. The girl pulls a button from the other man's sleeve and flicks it towards her opponent's face. The button travels at immense speed, although it was launched only from her fingers. The man tries to shield his face, but he's too late. He groans in pain when the projectile strikes his forehead. The girl does not let the opportunity pass. She easily jumps over the 3-seat wide center block of seats with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. There she repeats the same procedure she used before. Their weapons are immediately seized while they are restrained on the floor. Passengers are only now grasping what's happening before their eyes. A murmuring chorus rises.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you. Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
The passengers erupt in a cheer. There's a sporadic applause as well. But there's a slightly hysterical tinge to it in reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness. His name is...
Just as the girl approaches the center of the plane, she senses a male passenger stand up from his seat. He's extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up on the incongruity. All the other passengers are nervous. It's then that she feels something hard pressing up against the back of her head. She knows without looking that it's the muzzle of a gun. The nearby passenger's cry of relief suddenly turned to
I am
screams.
impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
The girl is unperturbed as she continues to look straight ahead. The man stays silent and keeps the pistol pressed to her head. She knows there's no danger of being shot, but she's not yet sure that he was the only one in hiding. Left with no choice, the girl accedes to his demand and moves forward. After about 10 steps, another man stands up as expected.
And you too.
The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched from the front and the back. At that moment, footsteps sound from beyond the curtain, leading into first class. The two culprits both react at once, but it's too late. Over 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. While the girl had drawn the hijacker's attention with the scuffle, the stair car had closed in. First, they pin down the man standing in front. The narrow passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but it doesn't last long. The moment he lowers the hand gripping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist. So focused was he on the men who burst onto the scene that he forgot about the threat the girl posed. He's immediately... How many handcuffs she got? She is immediately tripped and restrained once he falls on his back. The girl stands up and looks around. If there were any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand. But no one rises from their seat. He glances toward... At this point, like, just pretend you're a passenger and hope you get out okay. That's the real play if you are a secret hijacker. She glances towards the men in black and they nod back in accomplishment. No, you'd probably get caught, but, you know, it's worth a shot. It seems the crisis has been averted. The girl carefully keeps her thoughts from appearing on her face and gives an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterward, the sweeper team gives a report, confirming that the aircraft is secure. The girl works with the cabin crew to arrange transport for the man with the heart illness before she steps out for a moment. Stands on the stair car and turns on a blue designator light, waving it in circles towards the SAT's position. It's a signal that the crisis is over.
She's done already?
On receiving the sign, the SAT on standby start talking amongst
It
themselves.
hasn't even been 5 minutes. There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
You know what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
Yeah.
Captain, who are those people?
Fucking aliens,
Is that one even
man.
human?
The captain sighs with reluctance.
This is just a rumor. But I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation. It's supposedly for cases that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police, too. Though it's all some private enterprise, so technically, there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
And?
A search and destroy unit that answers to no department and keeps no records. I've heard them called shadow operatives.
I mean, it does sound like the plot of like a B movie. Like this is the opening act of it or something. He turns on his own blue light as a sign of understanding and waves it left and right. The response light comes up from up ahead. The girl then sees the captain spreading his arms in a shrug and smiles for the first time. He feels slightly bad for them. Her team may have shamed them, though they had done nothing wrong. I should apologize to them later. But then, out of the corner of the girl's eye, near the entrance of the luggage carts at the corner of the building, a figure catches her attention.
A girl?
Oh. The girl seems to be about her age and is wearing a plain cape-like dress. For some reason, her appearance feels unsettling. To begin with, given the heightened security, parking entrance should be strictly sealed, yet the figure looks like a civilian.
may I check on something?
The girl calls to the SAT captain over the radio. Noticing some slight interference, she looks down to adjust the frequency dial.
What is it?
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
But during the moment she looked away, the figure disappeared.
She's not there. That can't be.
The girl looks around, but the figure is nowhere to be seen. Where could she have gone in this open space with nowhere to hide?
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
The girl shuts the radio off. Who was that just now? Was that truly seeing things? With those questions in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure's appearance in detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. That light blue dress the figure wore. Very similar to the one she herself had once. It reminds her of those days when she did not yet have a heart. I want to save the game, okay. Take my save? I guess I can call it here for now. I was trying to push through to a save, but if they're not going to give me one, this is a pretty good stopping point instead. Alright, next time we will continue with Aigis' storyline and get to the TV stuff. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.